welcome back to From Book to Business. I'm Dr. Trina Boice, best-selling author of 31 books and author coach. And today I have Marsha McLean with me, who is a licensed mental health counselor. And I invited her to share some of her great wisdom with all of us, especially as we are still in this quarantine and still fighting the pandemic. Marsha, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate this opportunity. I am so excited to be here with you and your audience. So thank you again for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
I'm
you're
excited.
welcome. I'm excited too because you are the expert. So tell us, first of all, what you do, and then I'm going to ask for some real specific tips on what we can do when we're experiencing, the ups and downs of this pandemic life that we're all going through.
Absolutely. So I am a licensed clinical mental health counselor in the state of North Carolina, and I'm also licensed in the state of Virginia. I have a private practice, and what I do there is I provide support to people that may be dealing with depression, anxiety, some substance abuse issues, and other like maybe eating disorders or like children that struggle with adjustment disorders. So I deal with the whole list of mental health issues that affect people as well as their families. And I provide support. And it has been kind of chaotic due to COVID-19 and still providing support, but virtually. So most of my interactions now are virtual.
Yeah, as you were running through that laundry list of things that you help people with, I'm thinking,
hmm
well, I don't have, eating disorders and addictions, but I think I've gained probably 10 pounds during this pandemic,
I tell you,
because we're all reaching for comfort food and I'm cooking up a
yes.
storm and everybody's home. And
It has changed a lot of dynamics, and eating is a coping skill, and a lot of people have done that, and you're not moving a lot. But I'm sure as soon as the government opens back up and you get to moving, it'll go away as soon as it can.
I hope
Fingers
so.
crossed, fingers crossed.
Yes, I hope so. So now all of us have days where we're, feeling good and in control, and then other days where we're like, you don't even know what to do with yourself. And so the viewers on this channel predominantly are authors and singers and musicians and creatives who
Okay.
can be very affected by our moods and emotions,
Yes.
so what are some really practical tools that you can suggest that we can do when we're experiencing self-doubt, or we're hearing that negative self-talk, or
Mhm.
we just have the pandemic blues?
That's exactly right. That's a really good question. So I will present it this way. Get out the house first. If you have been in the house 7 days and you feel like the walls are closing in, get out the house, take you a power walk. I've started riding a bike again after 25 years. I got nervous. I fell a couple of times, but I always ended up in the grass. So I didn't hurt anything, but it started me to doing something else. So make sure that you get outside the house, go for a walk, ride your bike, because you need that sunlight, you need that vitamin D, and you need that interaction. You may see people outside that you can wave at and start a conversation. So they're on one side of the road and you're on another, and you can kind of have a conversation and you can see people's eyes, make contact that way. So that's one thing you can do. If you are a creative mind, I always encourage people, don't always embrace what you think because it's not realistic. So weigh the pros and cons of that. Is this realistic, or is this something just negative that my mind is saying, trying to maintain some type of control? So kind of balance it out to see what's it's doing, what's going to benefit you. And also, because you are creative, have you tried taking some of that creativity outside? If you make music, imagine how much excitement you would bring just by doing some music outside. If you paint, have you ever thought about, recreating your sidewalk or your driveway with some paint? Just, of course, that you can wash off later on. But when people ride past and see, oh, look at that bright driveway and sidewalk, you'll just instantly bring joy to somebody's life. So think about it that way. think about this as a period of thriving. Don't look at it like, oh my God, I'm stuck in the house. You are safe in the house. There is a difference there. So you really have to kind of change your mind on what you're saying. Make sure that you're saying something positive, encouraging, and have it around the house so you can see it when you go to certain parts of the house where you're still being motivated and encouraged to do something different. Did I answer your question? I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, well, the list is long of things that we could
Yes.
do. I was actually listening to a podcast yesterday, and
Hmm.
the podcast guest was saying how she had been working and cooking and living in her kitchen all day for months and
Oh, wow.
realized she needed to move to a different room in her house
Yes,
just to mix it
absolutely.
up. And then I heard another on a different podcast, somebody said, you've got to feel grounded. And so take your shoes off, go outside
Yes,
on the grass and stand there with your feet and get that nature into your body. And that alone will help. Of course, the vitamin D from the sunshine, like you mentioned, is really
absolutely.
important.
And also, when you are going to another room, open the blinds. Make sure you're opening the blinds, opening the windows, letting some of the air in, and just connecting to nature. There's a really great app called Calm, can help you breathe and regulate your breathing and help you to focus, get centered. And you can do that for a few times a day if needed, just to kind of help you relax. And one other thing that I just thought about, also changing the scent in your home, do some aromatherapy. Those type of things can definitely help you and boost your mood. And don't just sit around wearing dark colors. Put on something bright. Put on some bright colors. Make sure, ladies, you're still doing your makeup and stuff, because it makes you feel better. You're doing it for yourself. So just remember that self-care and double down on that self-care while we're still going through this COVID-19.
Right. And to reach out to other people. Now,
Mm-hmm.
of course, we have social distancing, but just to reach out and call and
Yes.
say hi. And I saw a funny meme online and it said, call your extrovert friends. They are not okay.
Oh God, I think I saw that. I like that.
Yeah, because extroverts get that energy when they're around people, physically
Other
around
people.
people. And introverts are like, yeah, I'm fine. I never wanted to be around people anyway.
Yeah. So definitely reach out to people, or, check on family members. I know at Mother's Day and Father's Day, I just put stuff in the mailbox. Like, I just drove around and put stuff in people's mailbox. And then I was able to wave. Find creative ways to stay connected to your family and friends. And it may be something you can continue on with after this is done, but making sure that you're checking on people and asking people to check on you so that you can have that accountability and let somebody know truly how you're doing. So that is a really good idea. And if you need to take it further, reach out to a professional person that can assist you if it's needed.
Right. And I'm so glad you mentioned that
Hmm.
some of these things, the habits that we've been developing in quarantine, hopefully will become a new normal for us. Some of these
Yes.
routines of reaching out, for example, my
Hmm.
husband is such a great son. His mom lives in another state. And so every 6 weeks, he drives out there or flies
Oh,
out
okay.
there to see her. But during quarantine, she just turned 90. And so he does
Wow.
not want to physically what's the word, transmit any bugs
Hmm.
or anything. And so they've started doing Zoom, and that was really new for her.
Oh.
It took a while to get her to understand the technology, but now
Hmm.
they have a weekly chat with his sisters, and I'm hoping that that continues, forever, even after we're all let loose and he can physically go visit his mom, because I think that's such a sweet tradition.
I like that idea. And just like I think with me, riding a bicycle will continue. Another thing that I picked up, I'm not a plant person, but I fell in love with, if you could see these, I
Yeah,
fell in
yeah.
love with, they're called air plants. They don't need any soil. They don't need soil or much water. And I've been kind of successful because this one was very small when I got, and it's bloomed out since it's been in quarantine. So these are types of things that I have learned. I have a green thumb. I finally figured out which plant works with my green thumb. So I'm excited about that. And also, incorporate your kids. If you have children at home, incorporate that. Go back to eating dinner together, or having movie night, or go outside if you're around in a certain area where they have lightning bugs, and catch lightning bugs, or do s'mores or something. Be creative, think outside the box, because a lot of things that you are thinking about, you can really do at home. So just, yeah, just kind of think about it and get excited about it. Try something different. You may really change your mind about something, like, you know what, I can get this. I have grasped the concept of this and I'm excited about it.
Right. And I think for authors and singers and musicians and
Hmm.
filmmakers, that all of this hopefully has triggered some new creative
Yeah.
ideas. Uh,
Yeah.
You've experienced emotions maybe you haven't felt in a long time, despair versus hope, or, all of these different themes and ideas and emotions can
Mhm.
really be supportive as you develop new material. So use this
Absolutely.
unique time for self-reflection and evaluation. And I think it can be really conducive to really creating new work that is much more insightful at a deeper level.
Absolutely. I do think once things have calmed down and you really have a moment to kind of breathe and really think about how this is affecting you, put it into song or put it into words. So utilize that opportunity to make sure that you're also grasping some concepts that may benefit that creative side that you already have. So I like that. That's really good.
Yeah. Now, on your website, you have the words restore, regain, revive. Tell us about that
Yes.
and how you work with your clients with those three elements.
So many times when people come to me, they are depressed, overwhelmed, dealing with anxiety, life issues. So I want them to get restored. I want them to go from depressed to feeling better, more motivated, smiling more, and just seeing life in a greater light. Then I want them to gain some understanding so that they can share it with other people and be part of that community to revive others. That's the goal. I'm always looking at ways that I can pour into people so that they can pour into somebody else. So that's what those words mean on my website.
I love that. So,
Hmm.
in addition to the many ideas that you just shared about how to get out of a depressive slump, what do you suggest to someone who's just truly depressed and cannot put a smile on their face? How do they move up one level? If we have depression here at the bottom and complete joy and gratitude at the top, what are some of the simple action steps they can take to climb up that ladder?
Okay. I will say this first. Go to reach out to your doctor if you're able to, just to get a full exam, just to make sure everything is okay. Because sometimes things may look like depression and it may actually be a deficit in a vitamin or something like that. But if you're just saying, I've been in COVID, I've been locked down for 2 months and I'm just stressed out, those basic things, changing your perception, putting on some brighter color clothes, opening the windows, making sure that you're going outside, doing a power walking, getting on your treadmill. Make sure that you are taking time for you each day. Put a reminder on your phone and commit to it. If your phone goes off at 8 o'clock in the morning, you know that it's going off for you to go for a walk. Take that power walk. Take your kids with you. Make it a family outing. Or change what you are eating. If you're eating a lot of processed food during this time, that will make you feel fatigued and stressed. Add some dense vegetables in there. And if you don't like vegetables, try some vegetable soup or like a vegetable broth, just some things that get you some nutrients that can kind of help you feel better. Make sure, one thing that I like to do when I'm just feeling like, oh, I just wish this day would be over, I just wish this month would be over, I like to go on Pandora and listen to the comedians that come on Pandora and Spotify as well. Because I could just sit somewhere and laugh for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it just brighten your mood up. So all the things that you will utilize, continue to utilize them now, but make them a daily choice so that you can keep on feeling better and thriving during this difficult time.
Great. I love it.
Mhm.
Also, another thing or another phrase on your website is stay in the fight. So
Yes.
tell us about that.
So again, I just see people that just give up. Like I had a family, their teenagers going through some difficult times right now and not being respectful, not following the rules of the house. And I'm telling that family, don't give up on your child. Stay in the fight. They're a teenager. They need you. They're making poor decisions, but don't you start making poor decisions because they are. So you have to stay on in that fight and see it through, because you are the adult, you are the authority, and that child, that teenager is looking at you, how you're handling that situation. So hang in there, get the supports that you need so that your child can be successful. That's where that came in from.
And actually, as you were describing that, I felt like sometimes when I have negative self talk, maybe
Mhm.
that's the dumb teenager in me coming out, and I should be the adult and remind that dumb teenager, I'm an adult now. I don't believe all of that negative self talk anymore, right?
That's right. I really like that. So yeah. So if you're having stinking thinking, I'm like, no, 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 not today. Let me be positive. This is not realistic, or this is not my goal. I'm still gonna accomplish everything. I have a book coming out, but it had to be put back because of COVID. It was pushed back. And I was upset. And I felt like everything was crumbling. And even myself as a therapist, I had to take a step back and like, look, the book is coming out. It is going to be something that happens. It may not happen when you want it, but it's going to happen, and still get to work on something else until that book can come out. You can't stay stuck right there. So maybe you're right. We all may have a teenager in there that wants to shout and scream and have a tantrum. We have like, no, 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 not today. We're going to stay focused on something else. Yeah.
What's the name of your new book?
So my book is called Raising a Prodigal. And when we're talking about the teenager, I had a difficult time raising my son. I was a single parent, and I was raising my son all his life as a single parent. But when he got a teenager, it was very hard, very difficult. And I just talk about our journey and how I care for him, but I also had to care for me. And I had to just humble myself and be okay that he may not make the decisions that I agree with. So I'm letting people know, you may have goals for your children, but have you ever asked them what their goals are, and if you can kind of find a compromise? So I teach you how to talk to your child. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And I also provide a journal. So when you're taking these steps, you can kind of have somewhere to write them down at and remember all of it. So you may be doing good with one child, but another one comes along. So you can go back to this journal part and remember some things that were helpful, that you have used before with the older child. So that's kind of my book, and it's called Raising Your Prodigal. And I got that from the Bible, where the prodigal son came home, came home.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
a
that's
great
where,
title.
yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. So that's the name of it, and hopefully it will be out at the end of August. That's our goal right now, for it to be out.
That's great. Well, better late than never.
Yes, yes, because it was supposed to come out on May 10th, my son's birthday, but then
Oh,
COVID-19 happened, and the editor and stuff had to cut some stuff down. Their staff got laid off, and it's just on delay. So yeah,
life happens. Pandemic
yes,
happens.
yeah, yes, and I'm hoping that we can just kind of get out of it, because certain states are opening, but certain states are just taking a little bit slower. And like here in North Carolina, we're having to wear a mask everywhere we go. Like our state is open, but we have to wear a mask everywhere. Hmm.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
so now tell us about the gifts that you have for the people watching.
Yes, I have two wonderful gifts to the first two people that will email me. So I also have a YouTube page, and I speak under the name Your Professional Sister. I speak at a lot of women's empowerment events and a lot of church events, and I come in and I speak under that name. So the first two people that will reach out to me on my website, I am going to give you a t-shirt that says your professional sister and your professional brother. So it'll let people know that you could say, I'm a professional sister and I'm a professional brother. So I would love to give those t-shirts out to the first two people who send an email to me. And they're good t-shirts. They're not going to shrink after one wash. These are really good t-shirts that's going to last you a good little while. And I'm excited to give that to you all. And let me give you my website. Is it okay to give them website?
Yeah, I'm writing it up above right
Oh,
here.
okay. And on there it'll say contact, and just send it to me. And the first two people, I will send you out a t-shirt. And let me
Well,
know your size too when you send it in. Definitely let me know your size. And my t-shirts go up to a size 3X.
that's awesome. And so for
Hmm.
people that don't have a sister, because a sister will give you the straight talk, right? So if
Yes,
you don't have a
yes.
sister, they get to adopt you.
Yes, they can adopt me. Yeah, bring me on so I can come and talk to you and encourage you along the way. I'll definitely be more than happy to do that. Or follow me on YouTube as well as my Facebook. And I'll be more than happy to encourage you along the way. I put up a lot of inspirational material weekly that just keep you inspired and keep you going.
Now, is it sister or sista?
Sister, thank you. I like that, sister. Sista, sister.
Yeah, I love
And
it.
what, yeah, and what I have on there is just conversations with other people trying to figure some things out. I have a Father's Day special on there where I'm just celebrating the men. I have one on there where we're talking about COVID-19. Me and two other professionals talking about COVID-19 and ways to kind of manage your marriage, manage your kids, balance the work life, home life situation. So it's a lot of good resources there, and also in many of the links I provide extra resources. Hmm.
Outstanding. Well, thank
Yes.
you, Sista, for sharing your good tips
I
today.
like that. Okay.
I sure appreciate it. So, yeah, all of you who are watching, check out her website and her YouTube channel.
Yes.
And of course, as always, if you need help publishing a book and getting it to #1 bestseller on Amazon, I'm your girl. You can contact me and I can help you with that. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for brightening our day. You've got such a great laugh. That's one way to get out of
Thank you.
depression is to just listen to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I just want you all to know any way that I can help, I will. And may the best belong to you. Thank you again for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye bye.